What's up guys, Bluddshed here, bringing you a Diablo 3 Marauder build for Season 25, patch 2.7.2. Now this set got completely revamped this time around, that's why we're talking about it. So the 2-piece, you still get all your companions. The 4-piece, sentries cast Elemental Arrow, Chakram Impale, Cluster Arrow. When you do, but now it's also automatic and it casts your Hatred Spender. So now you're getting like these automatic multi-shot hits, these automatic cluster arrow hits, all that stuff. The 6-piece, your primary skills, Elemental Arrow, Chakram Impale, and sentries deal 12,000% increased damage for each active sentry. So we're going to be stacking sentry damage on our gear and whatever spender we choose. This time around, I'm going with Multishot. Now, the developers have been trying to work another revamped item, Bombarder's Rucksack, into the set. Now, the Bombarder's Rucksack has a 200% multiplier, which would be good for leveling, right? So if you do get this while leveling in the season, don't toss it. Make sure you use it because it's a nice multiplier. Anyway, we're on the PTR, so things can change, right? So if they decide to keep pushing this cluster arrow damage on the Marauder set, which I'm all for, we already have a multi-shot set in my mind, so just make it a cluster arrow set or elemental arrow set or something like that. But either way, the build's really fun to play because multi-shot in general is fun to play. In the build description, you can check out my website, bloodshed.com. We're gonna have tier lists of everything. Right now it's set up for season 24, but if you're watching this in the future, it's all gonna be updated for season 25. Check it out there. We also have another YouTube channel where we post variety content. Like we just played through Deathloop, Borderlands, Resident Evil, all kinds of stuff. So if you ever want to see me play other things, it's there for you guys. We're going to cover the build later, but if I could get a quick like on the video, that would help me out a ton. And let's actually get into some PTR gameplay. Now I have to say it because not everybody watches all my videos, but on this PTR particularly, I've only used 800 Paragon, only level 25 legendary gem levels. That's like Zay's only level 25. Trapped. It's a really low level because it just kind of lets me see what the build can accomplish right out the gate, and it does help new players kind of conceptualize what they could achieve right away and all that stuff. So really low no augments, something like that. Our main stat is typically like 8,000 to 10,000 depending on the number of ancients we have. But you can see the gameplay here. It's really mobile. We are using lots of cooldown, double crit, things like that. Again, stacking that multi-shot damage. But yeah, you just pretty much set up your 5 sentries and shoot and play it like a UE build, really. Play it like multi-shot, and then the sentries kind of do work in the background. Now the legendary gems that you get, like the seasonal theme, which we're going to get into, they do have life on hit on the weapon. So I noticed just being able to stay back and kind of leech through damage has helped me a lot. And then it's a Marauder build, so we have Zoe's Secret, we have lots of tankiness with all our pets there. That's really good. Tons of mobility, tons of damage, and I think people will like this for pushing. I think it'll be a popular set in general just because of the nature of multi-shot, like we were talking about. That polar station is really nice because it slows the enemies too, so it kind of helps you keep them away from you, also proccing Trapped and any other slow effects you might need. This is a COE build as well. If you're playing hardcore, I guess you could drop COE, but it's a little tanky on its own, but it does a lot of damage in fire cycle. So no matter what you do, you definitely want to set yourself up for a nice juicy fire cycle. I totally forgot with that kill, we didn't actually fight the Rift Guardian. So I found another clear that we did where we fight the Rift Guardian with no power or conduit, right? We just got shield pylon here. So you set up your sentries and let it rip, and it's basically a crazy multi-shot show of like little needles flying everywhere. It's insane, right? So you have a really good single target. Again, we're not even using Stricken in the build currently. Let me actually bring it up on my other screen here. Yeah, no Stricken. I'm using Trapped, Enforcer, and Zays. So I think it's pretty good with no Stricken, but you could use it at a high level. Or save a pylon for it or something like that. So not bad, not as crazy as Arik here, not as crazy as Frenzy Bar, but still beasting it, right? Let's go ahead and jump over to the build itself. So for the set, we're using the Dead Man's Legacy and the Yang's Recurve Bow. You want pretty much max affix on this thing, damage, cooldown, all the goodies. multi-shot damage wherever you can get it, sentry damage wherever you can get it. I'll go ahead and go to the build here: Evasive Fire, Multi-Shot Arsenal, Vault Tumble, Wolf, Seethe, and Polar Station. Here's all the passives down here. This Traveler's Pledge is like a placeholder. I'd probably go with a Hellfire Amulet and Cheat Death for hardcore. For softcore, you could add another damage passive, you know, like Arsenal or like Rockets or something like that. Captain Crimson for cooldown and reduced cost resource. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac is going to give us a lot of cooldown reduction on our abilities because we're just holding it down, spinning, spamming multi-shot so fast. It's really helping a lot. We have a Soul Shard theme, so if you don't know, there's a new Soul Shard legendary theme. They're kind of like super legendary gems. I went with these two affixes. So this is a new affix that they just added a few days ago in the PTR. Each time your pet hits an enemy, your damage is increased, and this stacks up to 100 times, right? And this is for pets. If you don't know, our sentries are considered pets, so that works out great. You also do 25% less damage, but your pets deal 50% increased damage. So you can see the power of your sentries by going with this gem. I don't know if this will be the final setup again. You got to check the website for the latest and greatest, but right now this is popping. As you can see, we're crushing it with this setup. For the Helm Gem, I went with the Terror Gem. You get bonuses when things are on cooldown, so make sure you just use things on cooldown even if you don't need them, right, necessarily, because it's going to help proc the gem in the Helm. So you get 7 increased crit and attack speed for each skill on cooldown. Not really much to the build. Everything kind of procs itself. Just make sure you DPS through fire, jump in your Oculus rings. You know, you don't have to keep up F and R. I mean, you want to kind of spam the generator whenever you can just don't spam it during fire cycle, right? Because you want to proc your clarity bracers. And then you also want to, you know, just get resource back in general. I know a lot of people on softcore are starting to use the Reaper's Wraps for resource and dropping Wraps of Clarity. But, you know, I play a lot of hardcore and tanky builds in general. So we're definitely going to go with Wraps of Clarity in this one. So yeah, basically on a Rift Guardian, or as soon as you enter a Rift, like let's say this is you go into the Rift, you're just going to drop all 3 to get the bonus right away. And then as you progress to the Rift and you hit your pack and you get ready to DPS, then you start dropping them around the mobs. Sometimes you can do them in a line so they kite into because all this is slowing them and it's procking your trapped and your other bonuses. You can kind of spread them out a little bit and then just DPS, and then they'll attack with you, and if there's an enemy target, they'll attack with you and DPS. Really simple build, but really fun to play. So that's pretty cool. Also, if you're playing softcore, you probably would just go with a Squirt's Amulet, right? I forgot to mention that because, like, yeah, you're probably just gonna go full DPS and try to get as much damage output as possible. I like diamonds in my gear for that extra all res. It helps, man. It helps a lot against all these like lightning affixes and these frozen pulse at range and things like that. You can go with Cluster Arrow. There's a lot of cool combos you can do with Cluster Arrow, even like Cluster Arrow nades and things like that. But right now, in this current time, I wanted to get you guys this video. A lot of people have been asking for for Marauder set, and I call it a multi-shot. A lot of people have been asking for the Marauder set. So I wanted to get the video out there and kind of showcase it for you guys. Also, make sure you pop Wolf Companion before Fire Cycle 2. That way you get the full damage, take the full advantage of that 200% fire skill damage, right? So yeah, that should be all for the Marauder video. I'm glad I can get it out to you guys. I've been grinding the PTR all week, trying to get the content out, trying to do the research so we can get the written guides out also before the season goes live. I will be not live today when you're watching the video, but I'll be back on Monday doing some more testing. So you can ask me any questions live, twitch.tv/bloodshed. Thanks for the support. Thanks for liking the video. It really does help me. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. See you on the tubes, man. Peace.